The drivers head to the beautiful streets of Monte Carlo for the latest round of the Apex Online Racing Split 1 Championship in Season 13. And Monaco, one of the most historic tracks on the calendar, one of the most demanding and most technical of the season. And these guys will be running very high downforce around this track, and the tyres as well will be some interesting strategies, but I think it will be a one-stop strategy this evening, with the purple striped Ultra Softs making their first appearance of the season, along with the red striped Super Softs and the yellow striped soft compound tyres around Monaco this evening. And now we're going to be taking you on board as always with a lap of the Monaco Street Circuit being driven this week by the current championship leader in the PC Split 2 Championship, Rigorous Tigers. He's coming in to the final corner, got to get a very good exit out of the corner, deploy the DRS for the short run down the main straight towards the very heavy braking of turn 1 at Sandoval, braking just under that F1 2016 banner, taking it very nice and smoothly up the hill. He will go up towards the famous Casino Square section here, going to be braking down a couple of gears then to 4th gear, taking it nice and smooth there, short shifts up to 5th but drops to 4th to get a very good angle, then it's a little right left towards turn 5, and it's going to be coming up to the very technical and one of the slowest corners in Formula 1, the Grand Hotel hairpin, full lock as well through that corner, and he gets it absolutely spot on there, going through turn 7, then coming up to Mirabeau now, and he's getting that absolutely perfect there as he goes under the tunnel then, completely flat through here, and it's the most quickest part of the circuit as well. Going to be heavy braking to turn 10 and 11, the Nouvelle chicane. Just there's a little bit of a lock up there, but gets that apex absolutely spot on. Coming up towards Tabac corner, very easy to cut this one and hit that wall, and your race is over there like Tiger's just done there, running a little bit wide. Going through towards the swimming pool complex, a bit open than previous years, gets it completely with a lot of commitment. Coming into Rascasse then, nearly full lock in 1st gear maybe or 2nd gear, coming out of the final corner, turns 18 and 19, back on the power, deploys the DRS, and that has been a lap of the Monaco Street Circuit for the latest round of the Apex Online Racing PC Split 1 Championship. Hello everybody and welcome to another round of the Apex Online Racing PC Split 1 Championship. And what a track we're driving on this evening. We are here at the beautiful Monte Carlo Street Circuit for round 5 of Season 13. I'm Ryan Littlmore, otherwise known as RyanL83 from YouTube. Unfortunately, Chris or King Kodak could not be here tonight because he is unwell, so it is me in the booth on my own this week, but I am joined by our own little Ted Kravitz here, the Finnish version of Ted Kravitz. Marco FD has joined us once again. Marco, great to see you as always, and hype for Monaco tonight.
Hello Ryan, hello everyone, good to be back as always. Yeah, for sure, Monaco is of course the jewel in the crown of the F1 calendar, and promises to be a very exciting race tonight.
Just want to say, if anyone just saw that, Nooker is already out of qualifying already. Just made a mistake at after the Casino Square section and just lost it and hit the wall there, so unfortunately we've got this bug with the sound, so I do apologise in advance with that, but Nooker already out of qualifying and it's only been a few minutes in, so not the start that he wanted. At the minute we're watching Nick B as he's on the ultra soft tyre as he goes through the middle sector, then coming up to the swimming pool complex, very tight and twisty one, but this section here has changed over the years. It's a lot more open, so the drivers can take a lot more speed through that corner than previous years, but he's coming up then towards the final corner. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead of him there of the Haas driver. I don't know who that is, but we're going to see what he's going to set as a benchmark. It's going to be a 1 minute 13.4, which only puts him P4, as Marco's clearly out there. Our own little weatherman as well has just told us it is dry as well for the 4A, so no rain this week, which will be a delightful sign for many of these drivers after last week's bizarre race in Spain, which I would always remember for a very long time, and I think Marco will agree with me on that.
It was one crazy, yeah, let's say roulette, Russian roulette, it's best to call it, but yeah, due to the weather for the race, I expect, yeah, strategy-wise, things to be fairly straightforward. As you can see, these guys are all coming out on the ultra softs. And if they can, yeah, let's say maintain their pace until lap 15, they can easily do a one-stop.
Ram drop up to P2 then, a very respectable time there for 1:12.5, but currently 1:12.3, sorry, as we've got Wycombe's in pole position with a 12 flat, which is pretty quick right there. We saw Saffron's unfortunately crashed out already, And we've lost Fab Racer as well, who's out of the session. So I'm pretty sure he could get back into the session and get a time on the board. We're looking at Papa right now in the banana car, the Renault, in a very impressive P5 in his second race in PC Split 1 after making his debut last time out in Spain. Very clean lap this one here from Fela, and just scrapes the wall a little bit there, but gets away with no damage. And a 53.8 middle sector, not a bad time there for Fela. Coming in to the final couple of corners he goes then. And is this going to be a respectable time? Nope, I think he's backed off again. So everyone's struggling with this track, Marco, and being a former champion of PC Split 1, how difficult is Monaco from your perspective?
Well, good question. For me, it's the hardest track on the calendar. Basically, you have to nail a lap by taking a lot of risks, while in the race you technically drive under the limit the whole time. So, yeah, it's going to be tricky.
A few people have retired from the session quite early here, maybe hitting the wall there. So we had Fab Racer out, and we also apparently had Ycoms out as well, who was provisionally in pole position with a 12 flat. So interesting top 5 at the minute. We've got Ycoms on pole, who's actually out of the qualifying, unfortunately. We've got Ram in second, then we've got Afro in third, then Berg Von Trips, the current championship leader, in P4, 2 tenths off, and then we've got Slick in P5, one of the new guys as well. And Ram's up to pole, then into the 111s for Ram on the ultra soft tyre, so a fantastic time there. But we're going to see where Slick will come in then. Down the straight then with the DRS open, and it's going to be a 112.3, which puts him up to P3.
Nice job.
Very nice time there from Slick in only his second race in PC Split 1. That is a fantastic job. He's locked up both front tyres going into the final corner then. And is this going to be an improvement for Berg Von Trips then, as he's coming up to the line? We've got yellow flags out, so he's got to think about that as well. And he's going to move. No, he doesn't. He stays in P6 for the time being, but maybe he'll go for one more flying lap, so we'll have to keep an eye. First all the way down to 12th, covered by a second, exactly a second, so that's not bad. But he's Nick B down in 11th place. That is not where you expect to see Nick B. But he's going to come up to the line. It's going to be a 112.1, which puts him up to P3. That's more like it, Nick B. Ycoms could have gone quicker. Nick's just mentioned.
On this lap
and this, I don't know what's happened there. Berg has just lost it completely at the chicane. I think that could have been a bit of lag contact there with Nick B. But that is not what Nick Berg wanted, and that will be his qualifying over unless he's got some fuel in the car. But he is out of this qualifying session. No more time for him. And coming in to the final corner and gets a great exit. What's this time going to be for Fizzy as he's coming up? He's currently in P10. Is he going to improve? Nope, he stays in P10 for the time being. See, can Afro get pole position driving as JB this week? And is he going to get pole? Nope, but he improves by attempts and moves only just under 2 attempts behind the pole time there. So grid then for the Monaco Grand Prix,
which I shall run down for you now, because often the commentators are quite pushed for time at this point, as they don't want to interfere with the start of the formation laps. They often have to leave the session. So you can see Ramdrop got on pole there with a 111.759, with Afro just under 2 tenths off the pace in second place. And as well to Slick in P6, only 0.06 of a second separating third to sixth. Very close in qualifying, as it has been all year here in PC Split 1. Papa Socrates up into 7th and only his second race in PC Split 1. Very great result there for him. Berg down the order compared to where we normally see him in the Mercedes. He will be in 5th position, half a second off the pace. Fela in 9th there, and Fizzy will round out the top 10, with Kalon starting in 11th position. Fugitaro will be in 12th, with Nally in 13th. Fab Racer, who has taken pole in the last 3 Grand Prix, will start from 14th on the grid. Chicane in 15th, Mathis in 16th, and Nuka and Safso unfortunately both crashed out in qualifying. They both didn't set a time, so they will start from the back row of the grid. Let's now go back to join Ryan and Marco FD in the commentary booth for the race.
They are on the formation app then for the Monaco Grand Prix, round 5 of the Apex Online Racing PC Split 1 Championship. Voters for the win this week. I'm going to probably go...
Yeah, just asking.
I'm going to go for Afro in the McLaren behind Ramdrop. Obviously, you think he's done more laps on his Ultra Softs, but maybe go for the cheeky undercut here. So I'm going to go for him. So Marco, who you got to root for tonight?
It's all in the start, really, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the pole man, Ram, tonight.
So I have to wait and see, as a few cars already on the grid there, so I think they may have had a little bit of a nightmare racing, trying to do a formation at round Monaco, but the drivers are getting themselves ready then. But the lights are on, the revs are building. Round 5 of the Apex Online Racing is go here in Monaco, and it's a great start from Ramdrop as well. Afro getting a good start on the outside, going into Sandoval they go. It's clean for the time being. Wycombe's behind, defending for his life against Nick B. Everyone's got
someone's off.
We've got a man off behind us. I think Marco could just clarify for us very quickly if he can. And we've lost someone already. Nally is out of the Grand Prix already, the man who hosts the lobby. So hopefully he doesn't leave us this time around, and we won't have any calamities from last week. Right there, so that's unfortunate to be out of the race after one lap, one corner. That is not what we want right there, but the top 3 putting away a little bit from 4th place, but Ram still leads from Afro, then Wycombe's in 3rd. Nick B slowly falling back, and he's got Max up in P5. Max doing a great start there in that Force India, but everyone, apart from Nadi, has got through cleanly so far. Yeah. Oh, and Saf nearly in the back of the Red Bull there, very close towards Nooker's back end there, so that would have been a bit of a scary moment there. But Ramdrop still leads the Grand Prix then, as we'll head back up to him. He's got a nice little gap to Afro, with the gap being 6/10 of a second, who is under pressure from Wycombe's. This track is very difficult for overtaking. I think Marco will agree with me on that.
Yeah, it's a matter of trust in the other driver that you're overtaking, and really committing. Unless the other driver ahead makes a mistake. That's pretty much the only track for overtaking.
Going down towards P5 then. There's a battle going on for P4. I think Nick B starting to struggle a little bit, it seems, on those ultra soft tyres. He's got a bit of a train now, starting to build up behind him of about 5 cars, which is not what he wants to see in the back of his mirrors right now. But he could be doing this tactically. Maybe he's trying to preserve a little bit of tyre wear, try and go as long as possible on these ultra softs, because I can possibly do around about 20 laps on these on a fresh set. So maybe they'll go to maybe lap 16, 17 potentially, depending on how many laps they've done in qualifying. But look at the cars here, all now getting up behind Nick B now. Nick B is getting a bit of a train going on, so a bit of a hashtag Nick B train in the chat will be great to see. Right now, Saf already pitted, and he's on the. Is he already pitted? I think he may be on the super. He is on the super soft tyre, but we don't know if he's pitted or not. But I'll have to wait and see as he's hit the wall though, so that's not ideal. And again, he hits the wall, but luckily for him, no contact there. So Saf's not doing well, unfortunately, down in 14th place. We know he's a quick driver, we have to say, but we'll have to wait and see as Fav Racer down in 18th position. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's on the soft tyres now. So I think he's definitely made a pit stop in this Grand Prix. He's going to go to the end of the Grand Prix, and hopefully those soft tyres for him will just burn up a little bit quickly and give him the temperature he needs. But Ramdrop starting to open the gap a little bit to 2nd place of Afro. You can just see that. So Afro now a little bit under pressure from Wycombe's, and actually Afro is outside the DRS zone of just under by 6/100ths of a second. So if I was Afro, he's got to get a move on right now and stay with that Red Bull driver of Ramdrop and get that DRS back. So got to say, Papa in P6, the lead in the train at the minute, as he's having a little bit of a lock up there, but he's got Slick and he's got Berg, the 2 Mercedes right behind him. We don't want to see a Rosberg-Hamilton moment, especially around Monaco, which could cause a little bit of a part-up, obviously with a big group of cars right now.
Socrates overtook him, and now Berg's about to overtake him as well into turn 1.
He has indeed, and just caught the moment there of the overtake. So Berg moves up to P7. Maybe it could be a tactical move. Maybe Toto Wolff's had a little cheeky word with the Mercedes drivers. They, switch positions, and we'll see how Berg does as he gets up to the back of Papa.
Wycombe is applying pressure to Afro now.
He is indeed. We're going to jump on board with the Manor as he comes on to the main straight then, as we've already done 9 laps of the Grand Prix. It doesn't feel like 9 laps right now. There is a hashtag going in the chat right now for you, Marco, with the hashtag Marco Raikkonen, as we just see Saffron coming out of the pits again on ultra soft tyres. So I'm not sure what Saf's doing here. Oh. Maybe he wants to showcase the tyres a little bit for Pirelli, maybe he's doing a bit of promotional work. But Pirelli, he's doing tyre wear testing for season 14 of AOR, so that's great to see. As Wycombe's is getting really agitated, I think, behind the back of Afro right now. So yeah, Wycombe's has to make the move done, because he's looking pretty quick here. And if he wants
he's seeing the Red Bull pull away, and
Not by much though, I've got to say.
Called it a day.
We will go for the order for you. So it is Ramdrop. You can just see him up the road there, leading the Grand Prix. We've got Afro in second. We've got Wycombs in P3. Then we've got Nick B, who's still under pressure from Max in the Force India. But look who's joining the party. Berg von Trips is now on the charge, and he's catching them quite quickly now. He's 11 seconds behind the race lead though, so if he wants a chance of podium, he's got to get past these guys very quickly. Then in 7th, we've got Papa in the Renault in P7. Then we've got Slick in P8. Under pressure from Failer in the Force India in P9. And getting the last points paying position is Kalon in the Ferrari. And then behind him, we've got Matheson in 11th. Then we've got Chicane in 12th, having his own little race there, which is great to see for him. Nuka, who had the crash in qualifying in P13 on the soft tyre, which I believe he'll go to the end of the race on those tyres. Then Focataro in P14 on the super soft tyre. Then we've got Fab Racer down in 15th place, not where you want to see. He's also on the soft tyre, so he may go to the end of the Grand Prix. Then we've got Fizzy down in 16th, and he's also pitted as well on the soft tyre. So maybe the soft tyre could be
on charge here, because he's behind the Force India, who's behind Nick. So let's say a few laps.
Oh, and there's an overtake going on. Max tried to go for a move on Nick B at Raskas, I believe that is, and did not work for him, unfortunately.
Berg might have his chance now into turn 1.
But we're on board with Berg as he's behind the battle for 4th between Nick B and Max, as Berg very late on the brakes and is all over the back of the Force India. He gets a good run, and he's going to maybe go for a cheeky move, but sees it's not possible and backs out of it, and will just have to wait until the main straight to try and make his pass done, like he did on his teammate Slick, and gets a brilliant run through the swim pool complex. He's going to go for a move. Max locks up and leaves the door open on the inside. Is he going to go for the move? No, he backs out of it and will make the run down the main straight with DRS here. And maybe Berg's running maybe less wing potentially to try and close the gap, but he just can't get it done. But all this is doing is giving Nick the chance to pull away a little bit, but he's 12 seconds off the lead. That is not what we want to see from Nick B. This will mean as Berg's going for the inside move on Max. Oh, and they're side by side there, trying to not make any contact, and Berg had to try and do it. But Berg has to really get past Max here if he wants to try and not lose as much points as possible to Nick B. So this is going to be very interesting, I've got to say right now. Got interrupted there. Oh, there's been contact. Sorry to interrupt you there, Saf. There's been contact with Saf. Not Saf. I can't believe I just said that. You're here. Berg's made contact, and he's going down the inside of Max. This is not an overtaking position. And there's been contact there. Oh, and there's been contact behind, but I think Max is still going to continue. But that was not a great place to overtake right now.
Did Berg have damage as well?
Berg, I think has got. He has indeed. He's got damage on his front right there. That could be a steward's inquiry. I've got a feeling Max will not be happy with that, and we'll have to wait and see if at the end of the race if there is a steward's inquiry with that one. But
Nick has to pull a gap now on Berg with damage.
Oh no, Marco, unfortunately Slick is retired from the race as well. He's had an accident, so Slick is out of the Grand Prix. After wait and see as the leaders are now made their pit stops right now. Ram is in the pits on super soft tyres. Afro has stayed out on the ultra soft tyre, and it's actually quite close between these two, as I think Afro's on another set of ultra softs actually, so that's interesting for Afro there, unless he had a bit of I think he's gone out on ultra soft tyres again. This is interesting actually. I don't think the super softs won't last the end of the Grand Prix, or they will be absolutely struggling at the end. That is very surprising, I've got to say. As Wycombs has hit the wall actually behind him, and I'm not sure if he's got any contact there, but a very hard knock on the wall there for Wycombs, and that is not what he needs as he gets past my AI car. But this is a great opportunity for Afro here to pull away and try and win the Grand Prix here. But
did he like pit 1 lap earlier or 2 laps?
I think he pitted a couple of laps earlier, so that is very interesting.
2 seconds behind the leader, so good undercut.
Can make incidents there, as we've got Fab Racer who's left the session, so he's out of the Grand Prix unfortunately. So not a good day for one half of the McLaren booth, as it's with me.
Could you check race directive for me? But for me it does say Ram has a penalty. So
I will have a look right now, and he does have a penalty actually. So Ramdrop has a penalty. Actually that could be the reason why he's lost the lead of the Grand Prix potentially. When he pitted, maybe he had a 5-second stop-go penalty maybe, or we're not too sure if it's a time penalty or it's a stop-and-go penalty, which hopefully we can get some clarification from Ramdrop at the end of the race.
You're right, Ryan. Maffes and Kalon both didn't make their stops yet.
So these guys, I've got to say, Maffes doing well. 19 laps on ultra soft tyres, if that is the case. That is a fantastic job from Maffes, who I believe is on a fresh set of those ultra soft tyres. So this is what I was saying. 20 laps these tyres can go long for, and he does indeed go into the pit lane, does Maffes, for his final stop of the race. And I think definitely he will go to the end of the Grand Prix on a set of super soft tyres, as we're about to find out what he's going on. And the boys at Haas are ready for him, and he is indeed going on to another set. He's going to a set of super soft tyres, which will definitely get him to the end of the Grand Prix. With 20 laps to go, he should be comfortable there. Max down in P9, he was fighting for 4th in this Grand Prix, has a lot of work to do right now. Berg's still in 8th place, but he's got Failer ahead of him now, and this is for position for P7. And just up the road is Nick B and Papa fighting over, I believe it's for P5 in this Monaco Grand Prix. So lots of battles up and down the field, but we'll just keep an eye at the minute where Kalon is at this point, because this is going to be the one to watch here when Kalon and also obviously Maffes pitted behind, so Kalon could pit now if he wanted to and jump onto ultras, because he knew that Maffes came in just before on ultra softs, and if Kalon could get a very good time here, a good in-lap here, he could be on course here for a very strong end to the race on those ultra soft tyres if he can manage them very well. As is he going to pit? No, he stays out for another lap there.
So Ryan, considering those soft tyres, I don't know if something happened to Fizzy other than driving on them, but he's in dead last at the moment.
Oh dear, that's not what we want to see for any Fizzy fans right now. Maybe he's hit the wall. There's been a bit of a lock-up here at the last couple of corners. Don't know what happened there, but look at under pressure from Fizzy then. So Fizzy not having the greatest of races this week. But you can see, look at the gap now. Afro's got to Ram, 1.2 seconds. So the operating way, Wycombe's still there as well. But we've just got to keep an eye on Kalon here. I think he could be one to watch out for. He's not going to be in the podium positions, but he could be on for a good point sole if he continues right now. But he's got a train of cars hunting him down. Papa and Nick B fighting over for P5 in this one. I've got to say, Papa doing a fantastic job in only his second race in AOR. He's fighting with one of the championship contenders and gets a beautiful run actually out of the swim pool complex. Tries to go around the outside of Nick B, just can't get it done. Nick B defending brilliantly in that penultimate corner, but this is going to get absolutely tasty right now. There's about, what, 5 cars in one shot for P5 here, and this is what we want actually, battling up and down the field, and it's just going to be another Nick B train in a minute, and it actually is. Look at the number of cars there. Papa's going to try and go around the outside, but just nowhere to go, and I'll have to stay put for P6 for now. But is Kalon going to pit? No, he stays out again right now, so maybe he's just going to make sure the ultra softs can last to the end of the Grand Prix. But look at this now, 6 cars for P4 right now. This could end horribly wrong, or it could be an absolute stonker of a battle between all of them right now. And this is not what will Ferrari do right now? Will they let Nick B through? And Papa's getting a little bit agitated right now behind Nick B. So we don't know what could happen. We could see a Berg von Trips moment again right now. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But look at the amount of cars in one shot going into this middle sector. Kalon doing fantastically well to hold on with 5 cars behind him. That is ultimate pressure for an AOR driver to see 5 cars all in one shot. And they're all trying to get past each other. This is...
Ram's also closing in on Afro now.
Oh, and we see a move. Nick B is let through by Kalon, and Papa's going to try and get past him there. But this is what Nick B needed right now. And now it's a Kalon train right now.
Oh, nice.
Right now. So that is very tactical there from Ferrari. I think they may have had a little word in Discord and say, let me through, mate. And I'll give you some rewards later on. But that is a very tactical move from there. So Force India's going to try and make a move in the background as well. Papa's going to come in, and there's me coming in the pits in the background there. But that is what Nick B needs. Kalon finally pits, and there's been contact behind. There's been contact. I think a Mercedes just had a little bit of a back-end loss there. I think it was Max, and I think that was Berg. And Berg and Max once again in the fighting arena once again.
Well, Ryan, if you remember, like before the pit stops, that Berg was actually behind the Force India, which was actually very close to Nick. So now Nick is in 4th and Berg is in 8th.
That's a big chunk of points, I've got to say.
But still 30 seconds away from the P1 Nick is, so that's a lot.
We'll have to wait and see right now, as Berg is getting very agitated right now. As I think there's a force injury coming in. Berg's coming in. Not Berg, sorry. Failer. Excuse me. Failer's in the pits, and he will be jumping onto a set of the ultra soft tyre. And this could work out very well for Failer. We have to wait and see. Right now, as the ultra softs can be up to nearly a second and a half quicker than the super soft tyre, so we'll have to wait and see. But Fizzy in up to P12 now, so Fizzy's on the charge and he's fighting with Nooker. And also,
if you look at the gap from like P3 to P4, you can definitely see that the top 3 are really on a different level today compared to the rest of the grid.
And the gap is around 34 seconds from 3rd to 4th place. And just shows you that these top 3 are the kings of Monaco right now, as Papa's going for P4 against Nick B. So Nick B is going to be under pressure, and this is what Nick B does not want, because if he gets overtaken, then obviously the gap to Berg in the championship will be a little bit bigger than if he is in P4. So we'll have to wait and see if Papa can get past Nick B in that Ferrari, and see if he can get up to a top 4 finish. Would be great in only his second race, and he's going for trying to go for the outside move. Just can't get it done for now, but he's putting in a lot of pressure. Failer now, fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 13.8, and I'm pretty sure that is an ultra soft, as we saw in the pits right now. So we'll see what's going to happen in these final few laps. And we've got a force in Max as well. We've got to keep an eye on Max as well, who's in P6. He had a bit of a disappointing middle part of the race with incidents with Berg, but we'll see how he gets on in these last few laps. Failer's trying to go on the outside of Fizzy right now, but just can't get it done. Fizzy holds on for 13th now, that unlucky number 13. I may have just given the commentator's curse right now, but we'll wait and see. As we know, commentator's curse has happened quite recently in these races, and I may have just given Fizzy the one there for this week, so we'll keep an eye on that. What did I say earlier to you, Marco? He's going to back off a little bit, then he's going to make a charge, and I think now he's activated that mode right now, and he's piling the pressure on Ram Drop for P2 in this Grand Prix. And if Wycombs wants to win this, he's got to get past Ram as soon as possible. There's been contact there. There's Nooker, I think, and a Ferrari of Kalon. I don't know what's happened there. And I think Kalon's retired, so he's out of the Grand Prix. Nooker's still going, and I'm not sure what happened there. And I think he's trying to let Kalon through, but I think he's just realised now that Kalon has retired from the Grand Prix, and that is a disappointment for Nooker. And he's going to carry on to try and get that car back to the pits and just go for fastest lap of the race potentially, but that is not what we want to see. This is not what Afro does not need. 2 drivers ahead of him fighting for P11 in this Grand Prix. It's going to be scary for these guys.
Awesome.
It's awesome for us to watch, but these drivers are going to be bricking it, these top 3, heading towards there. Maybe Fizzy could do a little bit of a cheeky help there for his teammate Wycombs in this race. We're just going to have to wait and see. But Afro's got to get past these guys. Both Fizzy and Failer will be getting the blue flag surely by now. And we're just got to wait and see. But they're coming on then to 8 laps to go in this Monaco Grand Prix. But they're not getting past the back markers that quickly, I've got to say. So, it should be quite interesting.
Fizzy is still pulling out. And
Fizzy, yep, Fizzy's backing off. So that's great to see. Fizzy does not want any part of this battle. But Ram Drop's got DRS. Importantly for Afro, he has got driver of the not driver of the day. Why am I saying that? He's got DRS actually from Fizzy there, so that's helped him just maintain that gap between the top 2 top drivers behind him actually of Wycombs and Ram Drop. But this is going to be tasty. We want to check the battles but down the field, but Ram Drop is all over the back of Afro right now. But remember, Powder. Oh my God! Look at these cars. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cars all in shot right now. Nick B's leading it. Papa is in 5th, and I think that's Max in P6, and we've got obviously the championship leader Berg in P7. That is Ram Drop.
Oh, contact into the chicane behind Nick.
Oh
train.
Yes, I see that. Max has been spun. That is
again, that guy's been so unlucky.
He's been so unlucky. He's the Jody and Palmer of the stream tonight, I've got to say. Unlucky in some aspects, but Max is still in a shot here, because remember, if there's more contact with these 3 drivers of Berg, Papa and Nick B, he could still get P5. So, he's right on the back of him now. I think he's, I thought he was going to go for a move there, Ram Drop, but he stays in line for now. And I thought for a second there, Ram Drop had DRS down up the hill there. I thought that would be a bit weird, but might just be a glitch on my end. So, we'll see how we get on, but it's still wide open right now for the win. here in Monaco. Ramdrop getting very aggressive, late on the brakes, and Niddy hits the back of the McLaren. I think Wycombe's here is just going to sit back for a little bit right now and just wait for an incident to happen between these two drivers, between Ramdrop and Afro, and just slip his car down the inside and take the lead of the Grand Prix. But wait and see.
I have an update for the penalties if you want, Ryan.
Oh, that'll be fantastic.
So Berg from Trips has 3 seconds. Ram also has 3 seconds. Papa Socrates has 3 seconds as well.
Afro is on course here to win his first race in PC Split 1, unless Wycombe's pulls something out of the bag right now and tries to get past both Ramdrop and Afro to win this one. But look at these guys, they're right near each other right now. This is brilliant to see. Nearly 8 tenths covers the top 3 drivers with 2 laps to go. Can these races just be like it is for the rest of the season right now, as we've got Maldonado coming in as driver of the day apparently in chat. But what a race this has been between the top 3 there, showcasing his...
driver gets out of the way real nice.
Yep, Fukataro gets out of the way there. Oh, and Wycombe's tries to get a cheeky move there, thanks to that Haas there of Fukataro, tries to make a move on Ramdrop there. But Afro is about to start the final lap then of the Monaco Grand Prix. He is 1 lap away from winning his first ever race in PC Split 1, and he's got just a shy of, what, 1 minute and 13 seconds to go. We are on the final lap now. Who is going to win this race? We know Ramdrop has got a penalty. He is definitely out of the running, but Wycombe's, I think, has just left it too late and just has to just pray that Afro has an issue, and if he does retire from the race, then we know Ramdrop has a penalty, and all he's just got to do now is just pray that... and there's been contact, I think. There has been contact. I've lost words there. I think that I've lost the plot today. I've lost it. Ramdrop is in the wall, and he is out of a shot of victory right now. But this opens the door now for Wycombe's to try and close the gap. I'm absolutely surprised about that, but Ram had to make the move to try and win this one. I just think he just didn't really give enough room. He paid the price, unfortunately. But here comes Afro then. Coming into the final sector he goes. And what a race for Afro. Comes in early, tries to go for the cheeky undercut, and it has paid off for him here as XLNC Afro comes round the final corner, and he will win round 5 of the Apex Online Racing PC Split 1. He's weaving, he's so happy, and he wins here in Monaco. What a drive from Afro. And Wycombe's will come home in 2nd place as well. Ram will come home in P3, pending penalties as well. And I think he's got a big enough gap to Nick B, so I think he's going to hold off there for P3.
Oh, Nick's like half a...
There he is. I've just jumped on board with him.
He has shaken off the guys behind him, look.
Where
did Papa Socrates go?
Yeah, where's Papa's? Papa's gone. Papa's down in P8 right now. He's 7 seconds off Nick B. So I don't know what's happened to Papa.
Berg doesn't have a front wing.
Oh, no, he doesn't as well. Berg could be under pressure here. And who's that? Mathis? Mathis could get P5 here. Mathis could be on shot here for a top 5. And what did I say? Mathis could be in with a sniff right now. And there's a Force India behind him as well. I think that's Max trying to get past Mathis. But if Berg can hold on here, I've got to say fair play to Berg von Trips if he holds on. With a broken front wing, he is indeed going to hold on for P5. I've got to give props to Berg there. Jesus. As Mathis comes home in P6, Max will come home in P7. Oh, that I've got to say fair play to Berg there at the end of the race there. Chicane comes home in 9th place for Toro Rosso, and he's going to be the last man to complete the field. And look at those penalties. That's what we want to see
for Chicane
as well. And here's the official results then. Afro wins for the first time in AOR by nearly 2 seconds from Wycombe. Then it's Ramdrop in 3rd with a penalty. Then it's Nick B in 4th. Mathis comes home in P5. Max in P6. Berg drops to 7th with a penalty with 9 seconds worth of penalties. That's not what he wants to see. Chicane goes to 8th with 3 seconds of penalties as well. Papa down to 9th with 3 seconds worth of penalties as well. Actually 9 seconds worth of penalties. Then Fukataro in 10th with being a lap down. Fizzy in 11th. Failer in 12th. And who else? We've got Fab Race in 13th. Me apparently in 14th, which is great for me. Driver of the day for me, lads. And then Nooker, Kalon, Slick, Saf, Nally all retiring from the Grand Prix. What a race that was. And very controversial last lap, I've got to say. Ramdrop had to just go for the move if you can to try and win this one and put up 3 seconds. But what a race that was, Marco, I've got to say. And
super close all the way till the end. Yeah, definitely one for the books once again.
But that will wrap things up then this evening. Thank you everyone for watching tonight's broadcast, and if you like what you saw, make sure you hit that like button right now and subscribe as well so you do not miss out on next week's broadcast, which is at Canada, Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. Same time, same place on this channel, guys, and hopefully Kodak will be back for us so he can provide it on his Twitch side of things. But for Marco...
Yes, bye everyone. Have a good week.
And for myself, guys, have a fantastic evening, whatever you're doing around the world, and we shall see you next week at Canada. Until then, have a good night, guys, and see you next week.